To Ukraine now, and the government has claimed partial success in its counteroffensive in the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian General Staff said that the armed forces had gained ground around the village of Robotyne and had successfully repelled Russian counterattacks elsewhere along the front line. It's now over 2 months since Ukraine started its counteroffensive. In that time, they've retaken several villages and advanced several kilometres, but have yet to achieve a significant breakthrough. Current Ukrainian gains have come at a heavy cost, and medical aid is playing a vital role in saving lives, both on the front lines and in Ukrainian cities hit by Russian missiles. Joining me now is Daniel Whitehead from the charity Medical Lifelines Ukraine, which buys and sends ambulances and other medical aid to the country. Thank you for joining us, Daniel. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your charity.
So we were established immediately after the full-blown invasion of Ukraine in February last year by a local lady called Aliyah Arabieva, and since then we've grown ridiculously quickly, I think, and have now delivered 33 aid-filled ambulances to Ukraine, 17 generators, 1 crane that will be used to lift rubble off people who've been trapped under their buildings brought down by the Russian bombardment, and a huge amount of other aid, medical aid, everything from nappies to crutches, defibrillators, all manner of things. And
what kind of difference is it making on the ground in Ukraine?
It's remarkable, actually, because we're very well connected with with a lot of the regional governments, and we get feedback from them, photographs and so on and so forth, expressions of thanks. We can see how our aid is being used, and it's, I don't want to use hyperbole, but you know that what you're doing is actually saving lives. You know, the impact that it has on people is massive. They don't have ambulances in the numbers they need them. After we've delivered them, they have a few more. We see footage, for example, of ambulances either being destroyed, or we get photographs from hospitals that we're connected with, including, for example, one in Kherson last week that got hit, and a young doctor was killed, we understand, on his first day. And you can see the impact not only on those individuals clearly, but also on the infrastructure of the hospitals and what they need. Being able to do something that redresses that balance is an amazing feeling.
When the war began, there was a huge keenness, both here in the UK and around the world, for people to help and donate. And is that level of enthusiasm still there? Have you seen a drop-off in donations and volunteers?
We hear that quite a lot. And what I always say to people is there is no shortage of enthusiasm for people to help Ukraine and Ukrainians, you know, normal people who are suffering at the sharp end of a mechanised war. What I tell the people, if there are people watching who are doing something similar, trying to help in Ukraine, and they're feeling as though they're running out of steam a bit, is broaden the circle of people that you're talking to. Because if you just speak to the same people the whole time, those people will get bored. What we find, we have a huge group of drivers, our volunteer drivers, who each of whom raises £7,000 minimum to fund the ambulances to get them out to Ukraine. And I speak to more people all the time. I extend an invitation to you now, live on air, to become one of our volunteer drivers. But if you speak to more people, when people say, wow, I could actually do that, I could do something to help, there's a massive difference between giving an amount of money, 10, 50 pounds, whatever it might be, and actually doing something and knowing people who are doing those things and making a massive difference. It's very compelling.
Well, Daniel, you're clearly very passionate about what you do, and your charity is clearly making a big difference. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Here today at BBC News.
Thank you so much.
That's Daniel Whitehead, leader of Medical Lifelines Ukraine.